Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And today, I have a couple of juicy pieces of crypto news that you guys need to hear about. Then again, this will surely not be the only video that we post because, well, today's a really busy day. A lot of crazy stuff is going on. You guys have probably seen it regarding Luna. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff. So right now, I want to be covering a couple of different things. XRP, real estate, a little bit more on that real estate, a big new fund, and something which is not so fun, crypto winter and salaries and that nature. To be honest with you, I'm not sure if you could read all those articles properly because, I'm working with a little tight window right there, and I'm not so tech wizard to make sure it adjusts properly or whatever. This is the best I can do. So the first thing is from Eleanor Tourette over at Fox. Scoop. Patrick Doody, nice name, the independent expert the SEC retained to analyze the perspective of a reasonable purchaser of XRP, is currently employed by a private consulting firm that won a $4.1 million government contract in 2018, and that contract was funded by the SEC. Apparently, Jeremy Hogan took a little bit of time to actually fact-check that as well. And again, if you're wondering exactly what this means, Calibrate asks that. I'm assuming that this blows his testimony completely out of the water, and Jeremy says it does absolutely destroy his credibility, especially if it turns out that the 4.1 million is a large percentage of the company's gross income. If you don't understand why, well, he's obviously a little bit biased. You can't really use him as a sort of an independent witness that is an expert, literally, that's looking at the case thinking, this is my opinion on the matter, when he's literally kind of working for one party, sort of. If you guys get my drift, he's literally like being paid by the SEC from a certain perspective or something along those lines, basically, where he's biased. And Andrew says, is conflict of interest a requirement when working at the SEC? Or with the SEC, I guess. It's really funny. And Crypto Wolf said, the independent SEC expert witness doesn't sound like he has a conflict of interest, just like Will Hinman. On that same note, things get kind of funny. Not so frisky, not so crazy, but kind of funny. The court has granted the SEC's motion for extension of time to file an opposition to Amnesty's request to participate in the expert challenge. SEC's objection is due by June 7th, 2022, and any responses to that objection are due by June 10th. And this is funny for two reasons. I'm not exactly sure if this is like deliberate or what. The SEC's objection is due by June 10th, and any responses to that objection are due by June 10th. So there's a 3-day from June 7th to June 10th where they can respond again. Well, right now, again, let me reiterate, right? The first party put up a letter. You know what? Never mind. It doesn't matter because I'm reading it right now, and Ripple is actually requesting that they can respond June 10th, and the SEC does not really say no to that. The schedule things, not really sure exactly how this works. The original, I believe, letter was posted by Ripple May 21st. To say, this expert is kind of biased, or why you're not answering our questions, basically. And then they said, you know what, we want to wait another, kind of like 2 weeks or so, at least 1 week more, right, than what the initial date was. I think the initial date was the 31st. It said it right there. Initial date was supposed to be the 31st. Right now it's June 7th. Interesting, a whole week longer. But again, I guess they want to really think things through. Crypto Wolf, you guys can't see it, but he said, please tell me the judges are allowing all these extra few days of extension to make sure the SEC will have a hard time appealing if they lose. A critical point that a lot of you guys were commenting down below and the lawyers were saying was the reason they're going through all these delays and so is partially because the case has such a public presence that you don't want to mess anything up, and you want to make sure that they get all the time to not say, we didn't have enough time to do this or that, or to respond properly. No, you had, this is what you wanted, give you extra time, make sure that everything is done delightfully, just meticulous, I guess. Once more, these two things tie together though, right? Because they're delaying some time to, some people have said they're delaying all this to kind of think of something to give to Ripple, some sort of response because they can't think of any. As again, it's being very interesting in the background. JP Morgan sees a significant upside to Bitcoin as it replaces real estate with crypto as preferred alternative asset. There's actually one very important piece that I want to add here, and that is, this is my own opinion too, At first, I guess growing up, one idea that's been put in my head, not actually mostly in my head, but mostly the people around me that have told me this again, was to buy stones or into stones or buy property and so. And I always thought that if you grow wealthy or so, one thing that people would do is maybe buy property or buy homes or buy things. And at one point or another, I really thought that that would be something I was going to get into and basically get myself 3 houses or whatever and basically use the rent money to live off of or something along those lines. You know, in the years, I thought about a lot of different things. But then at one point or another, I really stepped away from thinking a house is a good investment or so. And I kind of focused completely on crypto, which is kind of funny if you think about it. I'm still not thinking that a house is actually a bad investment, by the way. I still think it's really reasonable depending on what your goals are and what your risk profile is looking like. But that's a story for a different day. But it's kind of funny how I've literally replaced everything I thought about crypto. And I've actually, so there's a really popular rapper in the Netherlands. But let's not talk about it too much, I guess. Let's just say it like this. I had a really big discussion about whether or not to buy stones or to buy crypto. And this was, I think, 4 or 5 years ago. And it would have been better for them, I guess, if they really went heavily into crypto at that time when I was kind of, when I came up to them. I want to spoil the story, but I can't. I'm not going to do that. So the story, okay, let me just give you the outskirts. So I met up with a person. It was not by choice. It was just by accident. I met up with them. And due to some certain circumstances, we got to talking, basically. Because I can't really exactly remember how or why. I think because I recognized him, I was like, hey, let me think of a conversation to get with this person or something like that, something along those lines. It doesn't really matter. And then we started talking about wealth and things, and I really started to say, like, I'm fully into crypto. This is the best thing ever. I swear to you, this is the best. And this person's like, no, you got to go for property. You got to go for houses and whatnot. I was like, no, I think my crypto is the best thing. And look, and I was bragging a little bit about a couple things. Got to be honest with you. But the person did not really listen to me whatsoever, so it wasn't really relevant or whatnot. And later on, I'm thinking, what am I, a dumbass? Why am I bragging like that? What was the use? What's the purpose? Am I trying to convince him? No. Yeah, but I digress. So the point is, I've completely changed my mind on the matter within a couple of years, and I really am not really into houses anymore, not into property, but mostly into crypto. And the people around me have kind of had the same vision. But it's mostly that I've noticed people that have not come up with this wealth. And I think crypto's a way indeed for a lot of these underdogs to make a lot of money because old money is a little bit more afraid to get into crypto because there's a lot more chance to lose a lot of it. But it's kind of funny that I just saw this as well. Apparently, they've mixed these two things up. You can now apparently buy real estate in Brazil with ADA, Matic, and XRP, kind of combining these two things together, which I kind of think is funny. Didn't know that. Then again, in Dubai, you can basically buy anything with crypto if you want to. You can buy properties with crypto, not really a big worry in the world. And nowadays, through a lot of these cards, I guess buying a real property all the way through is a little bit more difficult because you might have to cash out, $500,000 or so at once. But you guys get the picture, right? I mean, tens of thousands of dollars I can easily just use cards for still. But okay. Then this one came up. Miami Mayor Suarez still takes Bitcoin salary despite the crypto winter. I think that's actually a really big flex, right? At first, I was thinking, this is a really bad idea because all the salary that you receive, if it's a crypto, well, then you're losing money quite rapidly. But there's two things. One, I don't think he really is losing out on much because I'm assuming he makes enough money. Even though as a mayor, you're not necessarily making a lot. I'm thinking most likely he doesn't need the money too bad. But more importantly, we don't really know if he's selling anything or going for any option straight away. I mean, I'm not really sure exactly how he's going about his money. But yeah, I mean, if he's getting paid in crypto and the price is low right now, he could even be getting, for example, instead of let's say 1/10 of a Bitcoin a month, he's now getting 1/25 of Bitcoin a month, That's worse. You guys understand it, like 0.25 instead of 0.1. And then one fun little article. I want to think of a segue, but I'm too lazy because it's freaking too late at night. Andreessen Horwitz announces $4.5 billion fund for crypto blockchain sector. This is actually something that I see more and more happening every single time, these huge funds. And I'm sometimes thinking, where in the world are they going to? How can you spend $5 billion on crypto blockchain? Crypto and blockchain, $5 billion. That is crazy. I wonder how long it's going to last. And I wonder how much money they're going to make with that. That would most likely be crazy. Because again, these guys don't do like $4,000 investments like we sometimes do right now. They're doing like $100 million there, $25 million there, $17 million there. It's going to go pretty rapidly. But 4.5 billion. I wonder how you're going to allocate that. That's so much money to go with. I know it's people with like a $500 million fund or so, even $1 billion asset under management. It's not so strange, so to speak. But 4.5, like it's different when you're having these assets under management and you basically gotten it from investing in a lot of these projects because it kind of like figures itself out. But if it's a new fund and it's not your only fund, it's like fund number 7 or whatever, that's crazy. It's crazy. It's a lot of money. But I guess it's good for crypto, though, because it keeps this innovation up. And oh boy, is there a lot of money going on in the background that you guys are not seeing, but I see sometimes. But that's a story for a different day as well. All right. But I think that was it for right now, guys. Just wanted to say there's a lot of money going around here. Crypto's innovative enough. It will keep expanding, all right? There's more and more money being pumped into this space. A lot of these bigger investors know it. You guys couldn't see the title properly, but it's okay. Hopefully, you guys could have seen this one properly. I think so. If you didn't, too bad for you. At least you got yourself the information, so hopefully you're good. That was it right now. Adios, amigos. See you guys later in another crypto video.